Hello, my name is Eqlisya and I'm a software developer and graphic designer at NirdTeq. I'm here to introduce you and walk you through Eqlisya. Eqlisya is our latest software powered by NirdTeq under Cheddar FinTech. Eqlisya is developed for non-profit organizations such as NGOs and many others. It is also developed and designed to suit the needs of churches, mosques, and other religious bodies. I'm going to walk you through Cheddar. When you purchase Cheddar software Eqlisya, you'll be given a product key. Your product key will enable you to have access to all features of the application. When you get a copy of the software, this is the setup. You just click to open and install. I've already installed mine. It is simple. Installation process is very simple, and I know you can also do it. So after installing the application, you need to open Cheddar. So the Cheddar's application, that is Eqlisya. You need to open Eqlisya. So I'll launch my Eqlisya. And this is it. You would get a nice user interface developed to suit you, even if you are not an expert in using softwares. You do not even sometimes require any training, as we've made the user interface very good for the eye and very simple to use. You can expand it if you have a big screen like mine, or you can have it as small as you can have it as such. Now, Eqlisya, you cannot use Eqlisya without setting up your account. If I come here and try to enter any login details, it wouldn't work. The reason is I'm not registered on the system. The system actually works offline, totally offline. Our version 1.1, this version, Eqlisya version 1.00, is designed to work totally offline. We are currently working on the other versions that will come up lately, where you can actually have both offline and online services running directly in the system. So here you can get sample information about Eqlisya. Eqlisya is a proprietary software owned by the NET, that is NirdTeq. Your version of this software has a unique ID, and sharing will affect your data. NirdTeq is registered business name and trade recognition. Now, we will give you a special ID that you would use in this application. The reason why it will affect your data is if you share the unique software that will give you, and you share the unique ID, you're going to encounter an issue. The issue is when you have your system online, you're going to have the person who is actually using your version of the software. You would have your data crossing each other, which isn't right. So in order to prevent unnecessary data in your app, make sure you do not share the application. For now, you can use the software without internet, which is very, very good. So let's go straight forward in setting up the account. So we'll just click directly on setup account. Now, you have to enter your church detail. So I'm going to enter my church detail. For now, Cheddar Eqlisya is actually is now working for churches. We will open it up quickly for organizations. So if you're using it for your non-profit, instead of church details, you actually enter any other details. So I'm going to input. This is a test, a beta or a test application. So you might see some errors, but it's normal. It's because I'm just using it to show you. but your version wouldn't be with errors. But in case you encounter any errors, you can actually report it to us. So I'm going to use a church name. I'm going to say Ghana Baptist and Assemblies. So we in Ghana, Kumasi, as I said, we have an error here. It's supposed to be state that is a region, but it's no problem. So I'm actually going to enter the address. Let's say it is located in Kumasi, Kenyase. So Kumasi, Kenyase. So Kenyase. Um, Behind Presby Church. Then maybe Garden City. Now let's enter a random contact. And then the email, the church email, the organization email. So info@NirdTeq.com. The slogan, let's make it here. So the slogan at Ghana Baptist. The slogan, you say God is with us. Shalom and peace. And then maybe motto, God is with us. So you can actually put any information here, the logo of the church or something. I'm going to skip and I'll come to the website where I'll enter maybe the website of www.ghanabaptist.com. Then here, the church short name, which is very important. So maybe the church short name is GB, GBC, or GBT. Okay. Since it's Ghana Baptist Assembly, so it's GBA, which is very important. Please make sure you fill this, or else the system wouldn't allow you to go. So here is where we're actually going to enter our product key. So for some reasons, I'm actually going to copy the product key. If you use it for your own, it's not going to work because every software, we intentionally package each software for its own product key. So I'll hit on save and wait. Okay, so now we can go in. Now, with every software, we'll give you a demo. We'll give you a demo login. So our demo login here is James, and the password, you would insert the password. So each software, you would get your own demo login. So I hit login. So it picks and we are in. So if you look at the interface, it is very simple. You have where you have your analytic cards here, where you get total members, total amount received today, total transactions made, that is the number of transactions you've made or you've recorded, and then the total transactions in Ghana cedis, right? So here you can add users. Users are the people who can actually log in. So you can see James here. So let's add a user. So let's say Barbara. Let's give it a username bar on, let's say Esther. So Esther is maybe a secretary. So maybe Esther has access. So Esther, and then here Esther Bright. Okay, and then the password. Let's make the password hello, and then let's confirm the password hello. And then we set a role for Esther. For now, we set Esther to admin, and then we save. So saved user details. Now let's log out. let's try to get in again. So Esther, make sure that the same username, the way you spell the username should be the same way you type here. Because if we do Esther like this, it might not work. So Esther and the password, hello. We log in and quick, we're able to enter. So the next thing is we're going to add a member, a church member or a client anyway, since it's a non-profit. So we're going to add a first name. So let's say we have Kingsley and then last name Amankwa and then the date of birth. So let's make it 29 and March 2023. And oh, yeah, then I'm a male and the occupation. So I'm a software developer, software engineer. Let me make it that way, or develop anyway. Then the day of birth of the person, whether I'm a Thursday born, I'm single, yes, I'm active, and I'm not dead. So here you choose is deceased. No, I'm not dead, I'm still alive. Here, the role of the person or the duty of the person at church, it can be an usher, it can be security, anything. So I'm an engineer, all right. And here, or product manager, anyway, let's make it product manager. Product manager. And here, the education level, I'm in a tertiary. I've actually gotten the tertiary education. So, and then the age group, whether I'm a youth, or an adult, whatever. So, or or children, you can actually state that. And here the address, so maybe Kumasi, Ghana. Um, so we're gonna skip the image, and I'll come here, and we can skip here, and I'm a Ghanaian, Ashanti region, Kumasi, a house number. So let's make random house number. Hometown, let's say Tamale, and an NHIS number. So any random number here. Ghana card, any random numbers here. My email, profnerd@gmail.com. That is my real email, so you can mail me. Let me put random contact here. Let's put 0554 0208991483 and digital address, e.g., and any random digits. WhatsApp number 0208991483. It can be any other number, right? It can be any number. And the mobile money number. So let's assume this is my mobile money number and other contacts. So, and then the ministry or the ministry that you find yourself. Okay, since we're actually dealing with church, so the ministry. So let's say I'm in, let's say Kumasi, let's say Kwabre East Assembly. Okay, and maybe then the church name is Glad Tidings. The church identity, Glad Tidings Life. Or you can, whatever that can help. Or you can make it youth ministry. Any way you want to actually define. You can even make it children's or youth ministry anyway. So you can put the church name here. And the branch, as I said. So nothing here. You can leave it empty. And it's baptized, whether no or yes. So let me leave it blank. Let me choose yes. And the social media handles and any information on baptism. It can be the date of baptism, the pastor who baptized the person, like any information on the baptism certificate can be placed there. When you're done, you can hit save user. So directly, the moment you're done, is saved member details, then you would get this member ID. This ID is very important and you should keep it in mind. Very, very important. So I'm going to write this ID here. So this will be the ID of the member, and you need to give this ID to your member. If you miss it, if the member doesn't have this ID, it will be very difficult for the member to actually make transactions here. The reason is we're trying to, there can be that there is a member who have the name Kingsley Amankwa, the same member like that, and you don't want to actually miss transactions. That is why we have 9 simple names to remember, 020. So the index was actually generated based on the year, and then the total number, sorry, the particular day, and then something like that. Yeah. So unique ID here is King 0202321, right? And then the name Amankwa Kingsley. So I'm actually gonna click OK, and I'll click OK. So we can check if indeed we've added a member. So I just click on View Members, and I have the whole member detail here. So King Amankwa, date of birth, here, everything. All right. So if I want to actually view the details of the member, I can just click on details, and I have the full details of the person like this. Full details of the person. I can also print the member. I can print the members, right? The members. I can also search. Okay. So let's go by that. Now, let's assume you want to make a transaction. A member comes in and wants to make a transaction, right? So let me click here, caching. And in your caching, I'm going to enter the member details, the member ID, which is very important. So Ken 0202321. The moment I am done entering the user's name, the user member ID, the name comes, the last name comes to confirm. So you can even ask the person if indeed the person's name is Kingsley Amankwa. And if a person says yes, you can carry on. But when we come here to enter the amount, let's say the person is paying something out of 30 cedis, right? You get the amount in words, 30 cedis only. And then the payment method, that is cash or mobile money anyway. So I choose cash. Now, the payment type, what is actually the person paying for? No payment type available. Add one or more, tithe, donations, etc. So you need to come here, add type, and you add a payment type. So let's say welfare. I don't know if I've spelled it right, but and then you give description. So adult ministry, uh, regular welfare dues, right? Then you save. Now, when you save, you can view. You see payment type here, so you can view payment type. You can see here it has its own ID, and the welfare, adult ministry, regular welfare dues, and then the date that was actually created. All right. So the next thing is you can come here and then choose welfare, and automatically be added. So we are paying for welfare. So you save transaction. Good. Now after saving the transaction, you come here and you can see directly here you have everything here, the transaction that was recorded. You can see the transaction ID, that is the tracking ID, the person's ID, the person's name, the amount of money the person paid, uh, the amount in words, and the method, the cashier, the one who recorded the transaction. So it means that nothing can be secret here. And the date you created, it cannot be backdated for auditing reasons and accounting reasons. You cannot backdate anything here. And here is welfare. So you can only delete, but you cannot change anything here. You can delete completely, but you cannot edit an information due to auditing reasons, right? Good. So whoever actually made these transactions, the person's name will be here. So Esther, you can see Esther here. Good. So let's try to add another user, another member, sorry. So let me add, let's say Abigail, Echiwa. Let me enter any random details for Abigail, all right? I'm trying to pick up random details for Abigail, all right? So sorry if I'm not inputting the right details here. So let's say these are real details of Abigail, right? And baptism, let's say no, and we put some information here that we save. So we'll get Abigail's ID. So you can see Abby 0202322. So you can see that Kingsley was 21, Abigail is 22. So you can see how simple the ID generated is. Then you can click OK. Then you can view members, and you can see that we have Abigail here and Abigail's information. You can view Abigail's details. You can see vividly. You can print if you want to print. So let's assume here I want to search for Kingsley, right? I can come here and then search by member ID, first name, last name, email, tracking ID. But we don't have tracking ID here, so maybe date of birth. So I'm going to choose member ID. So I can come here, search, then type Ken. So the moment I start typing, it will show. I can go back and it will delete. If it is Abigail, I have to type ABI and it will actually show up Abby. So you can even search by first name. And when I start typing Abigail, you can see if I start Kingsley, go search by last name, Amankwa, and you can see you can search by email, so prof nerd, so you can see that the person actually comes, because sometimes emails are unique, right? Good. So the next thing is we need to create a transaction, right? We already have transaction here, so let's create a transaction for Abby. So I type in Abby, that 0202322, and automatically you get Abigail's name here popped up here. So 50 cedis, and let's say by Momo, and maybe Abigail is actually paying for Thai. So let's add a payment type, and then we come here, then we add Thai here, and then we add description, maybe adult ministry or harvest. Any description you want to give it. So we save, and when it is saved, here we can actually view payments, and you can see it's not all the time you have to, but if you want to know that it's there, you can see it here vividly with its own special ID. If you come here, you can see tight here, so select tight and you save transaction. Very simple. You can see that, sorry, Abigail here with tight and Kingsley with welfare. And if you look at the top, you can see today the total amount received today is 80 Ghana cedis, and the total transaction is to two members. All right, so it is very clear. If you check transaction here, you can see Abby and then this here. Good. Now let's assume you want to print all the transactions. You can come here directly and print the transactions, right? Or the same way you can actually print the transaction here. But the best way, if you want to have the note total with it, you have to use this. If you don't want to, you just want all the transactions without the net total, you can use this also. So let's say I print recent transactions. All right, I click here and I wait for the print to show up. So you can select your printer and then print. So I'm just gonna print it to PDF. I'm gonna hit on it and a pop-up will come, and I'll save it for name. I'll say today's transaction, so today print. So I save it that way, and I'm gonna go into a document and look for today print, and I'm gonna open it. So open it in Chrome, and it's opened. We can see it vividly here that we have ID transactions, and we have the net total, and that is 80 Ghana cedis. We have the names and everything, and you can have it to yourself. So you can have their tracking ID. These are the tracking IDs, and these are member IDs and everything assigned to it. So you can see how simple we've made the system. Very, very simple. If you want the members, the same way you come here, print members, and you wait for this, you click and you save it. So let's say member print, and I just save it. So I can just go into where I saved it and let me reload or refresh here, and I have it here. And mm, oh, sorry. Okay, so it opened here. You can see directly. So you can see that the members, we have all the members: Abigail, the date of birth, female, Tuesday, single, and then some other details, right? This is no. So this is a simple walkthrough, and in the next feature, in the next update that we're actually going to have update, but you can use this in doing your transactions and everything. You can see it's very responsive and very cool, very neat. In the next feature, anytime you make a transaction, you'll be able to select whether to send, okay, to you'll be you can't decide to um, send a message to the person. That is, the moment you record the transaction, should the person receive a message, you would be able to select that option in the next feature, which will come soon. And you would be able to check an accounting form of the transactions. Okay, sometimes some people like to have a financial statement, a balance sheet, and every other thing. Would actually have it in at the report side, and you can have additional stuff at the transactions. You would have access to settings to do some additional things, and you can send broadcast messages directly here also, and maybe notifications, online notifications and stuff. So this is very simple. You can see it is good for your church. You can use it. So my name again is Aman Kingsley, and I'm out. Thank you. So if you want to know more about the company NirdTeq, you can click here, powered by NirdTeq, and you can have a view of our product. But always put in mind that NirdTeq is actually backing Cheddar. Cheddar is the company responsible for Eqlisya, and we are the developing company of Eqlisya and then Cheddar product. Thank you for your time and everything. God bless you. Stay tuned.